what would I do? Because I've been asked to show you my testing exactly. Well, this is as exact as it gets. Right click, load the optimization file that's in the Google Drive. The magic will happen with the inputs, etc. Choose your testing phase. Yeah. When the test is done, you'll get an optimization tab and a forward results tab. Then your job is to filter correctly and make some choices. What am I looking at here? Well, I've got stuff here like the backtest is really low. That's no good. But if I right click, you know why? It just crashed and burned. So it was shit in the backtest and good in the forward test. Well, that's no good to me. I'm looking for stuff like this. Yeah. High backtest, high forward. But I'm also not going to assume that all rubbish forward scores are no good. For example, like this one, 73. There's nothing really that tells me that that's really poor, other than it's not made a load of profit. The drawdown's nothing, so I could scale this up. 52 trades. There's a reason why that's given me a low score, is probably down to that trade volume. Yeah. So don't assume just because it's got a lower score than like 99s or 98s that it's not valid, because you need to understand the data behind it to double check that, right? So we've got, there's one here, 6 grand in the forward phase, 1.9% drawdown, and it's made 30 grand in the back test, 7.42% drawdown. So the drawdown's too high, really, potentially. Well, it definitely is too high in one sense, because that happened at one period of time. Now, it might have just been one spike, which means I can adjust that set file with the lot size and make sure that I could cover that if it was to happen. If it happened a lot, I wouldn't be very keen on that set file. What's the story with the drawdown? Is it just very low drawdown and then one peak that caused it to give it 7.42 or whatever percent? How can I mitigate that risk without running the set too cautiously, which means it affects how much it banks? Yeah, this is what you've got to weigh up, really. Let's just have a look. Here's one here, look. 1,700 in the forward phase, 0.54 drawdown, 99.99. Let's just run it. Nice. So what have we got drawdown wise? 1.69% in the back test, 0.54 in the forward. If I ran that with a combination of other set files, fair play. I wouldn't be able to pass a challenge if I ran it in its singular form without taking more risk on it. But there might be other stuff that I can do that with. I ran one earlier, but there's so much on here to go through whilst I'm talking at the same time, just trying to scan the values here, you know. Here's another one. Here's another one. That was the one I chose earlier, but let's just look at that one again, right? So that made 36 grand. Oh no, it might be a different one. What do we got? Yeah, too much drawdown, 8.5k, 7.42%. However, I could look at it and go, okay, well, what happens if I just reduce that risk on that set? Maybe set a max lot size because it is an aggressive martingale style approach, but this is going to lower my profit and lower my drawdown. But the drawdown might now be in line, and it might be a set file that I'm willing to consider using. Yes, so I've gone from 8.5k to 1.7k, but again, it still makes 7.5, 8 grand. This is where you've got to make choices and decisions based on what you're trying to achieve. That makes that as a funded set more doable, or however you're trading, but a challenge, you might have to take more risk than that. Yeah, because there's more that you need to achieve in a monthly period. So there's so many different variables to the choices and set files that you choose to make. But what you all need to understand is how to choose a good set, how to make it in line with risk. All I didn't overfit anything there. I just reduced my drawdown and my profit by changing the lot size. It's as simple as that.